This video is brought to you by Practical Music Theory for the Rock Guitarist, my new book, which is a comprehensive guide to all aspects of music theory necessary for playing rock guitar. From blues to the cycle of fifths, from understanding and using modes to choosing the right notes for a melodic solo, from pentatonic scales to chord construction and keys. It's all covered in a clear and concise manner. With accompanying video demonstrations, jam tracks and tabs, you'll learn to use the knowledge you gain in accessible ways that make sense for less than the cost of a few guitar lessons. Check out the link in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. That what you just heard there was me having a bit of a jam going through multiple different keys, and there is a longer version of that solo where I actually go through all 12 keys. It takes about 5 minutes, but just for the purposes of setting the scene for today's video, I thought that was enough. Anyway, it's relevant to today's topic under discussion because today is Wednesday, and as you know, on Wednesdays I do viewers' questions, and if you have a question or a query of a guitar or music related nature and you think I'm the chap to answer it, then get in touch. You can leave a comment below this or any of my other videos. You can use my email address jrguitartuition@gmail.com, or you can get in touch via the website, the email form on the website. You can see the address at the top of the screen there, link in the description. One chap who did exactly that is called Dean, and this was his question.
Hello, big fella. I know you've probably covered this before, but I wonder if you could explain what the CAGED system is all about. I've tried to understand it a bunch of times, but I get lost in a maze of chord shapes and scale patterns. A C chord that becomes a G chord that becomes a pentatonic scale pattern, etc. It just feels like a very convoluted way of learning the neck. Can you shed some light on it all? Thanks in advance, Dean.
So, yes indeed, the CAGED system. It is a topic that I've covered a few times before. It's not something I tend to teach anymore because, as Dean said, it is rather convoluted. Let me explain. I'm not plugged in at the moment, but I don't need to be just to kind of go through this. Let's move the microphone out the way. The CAGED system is all about using chord shapes, C, A, G, E and D chord shapes, to find different pentatonic positions along the neck. So let's say, for example, I was at the 5th fret and I wanted to play a B minor pentatonic. Well, the first thing you've got to do is think, well, okay, the CAGED system deals with major chord shapes. So B minor pentatonic, you've got to think in terms of, okay, what's the relative major of B minor? And some people tend to even struggle at that particular point there. But the relative major of B minor is D major. So then what you've got to do is you've got to think, well, okay, which of those 5 chord shapes, C, A, G, E, or D, at the 5th fret will give me a D chord, and it happens to be the A chord. If I play A like that, it's an A, then a B flat, then a B, then a C, then a C sharp, and then it becomes a D chord up at the 5th fret. So then what you've got to do, once you've established what chord shape you're going to be basing it around, is think, oh, okay, which of the 5 pentatonic box patterns contains that chord shape? And then it's this one. So as you can see, there are a lot of moving parts, a lot of steps that you've got to go through to arrive at the scale pattern that you need on any particular part of the neck. And it just feels a bit cumbersome to me, which is why I don't teach it that way anymore. There are a number of ways that you can visualize the neck mapped out in pentatonic patterns. I did a video which I'll link to in the description a few years ago using something that I call the pentatonic wheel. That's one way of looking at it. And another way that you can look at mapping out the neck with what are essentially the caged patterns, but without having to go through that whole rigmarole of piecing it together is, well, it's the way I'm going to explain it now. Here it is.
Here is the explanation.
Okay, what we're going to do here is use pattern 1, which is, I guess, the pentatonic shape that most people recognise, this one, as kind of a reference point for locating all of the other patterns. And there are some fixed relationships between this pattern and the other 4 pentatonic boxes. It's worth mentioning before we go any further that I'm kind of assuming that you are able to play and remember the shapes for those basic pentatonic boxes. So if you're a little bit hazy on that, that would be a good place to go and brush up. But let's assume that you know where pattern 1 is in any given key, and we want to locate the other patterns. Well, the first thing we can say is that if you go down 5 frets from pattern 1, which if we're in A minor, that's at the 5th fret, go down 5 from there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it takes us to the open strings. And as you can see, I played pattern 4. If we then go, again referencing from pattern 1, if we go down 2 frets from pattern 1, there's pattern 1 again, down 2, that takes us to pattern 5. Like that. Okay, so we've got pattern 1, pattern 4, which is always 5 frets below pattern 1, and pattern 5, which is always 2 frets below pattern 1. Let's go up from pattern 1 now. Let's go up 3 frets from pattern 1. So there's pattern 1, again 5th fret, go up 2, 3, like that. We come to pattern 2. And then finally, if we go up 5 frets from pattern 1, there's pattern 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we end up with pattern 3. So we can just slot those all together and play in A minor or any other key just by knowing those relationships. They are fixed, they never change, they are the same in every key. If you know where pattern 1 of any given scale is, any pentatonic scale, you can always find all of the other scales with those relationships in kind of reference to that. So how do we use this to play in multiple keys successively then? Well, let's have a look. I started in A minor, so I started, pattern 1 at the 5th fret. Then I went to D minor next. We're going up by a 4th every time. So D minor, pattern 1, I know is up at the 10th fret. You don't have to go there, you just have to know that it's there. And then if you count down, as we said, 5 frets from pattern 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you end up with pattern 4. So now I've got, in the same part of the neck as I was playing the A minor, I've got the D minor. What's next? G minor. It would be the next scale, and I know that G minor pentatonic pattern 1 is at the 3rd fret. And I also know that if I go up 1, 2, 3 frets, it takes me to pattern 2. Like that. So I've got A minor, D minor, and G minor. All on the same part of the neck. C minor would be the next one. C minor pattern 1 is at the 8th fret. I go down 2 frets. That takes me to pattern 5. What's after C minor? If we go up another 4th, that's F minor. Again, I know that F minor pattern 1 is going to be at the 1st fret, so go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and as we can see there, 5 frets above pattern 1 is pattern 3. And I'm not having to move to different parts of the neck to play these different scales. There is a little bit of movement involved because, not everything is going to happen at the 5th fret, for example. Because that's an A note, and not all of these scales have an A note in them. But you can see we're in the same sort of zone each time. After F minor, we have B flat minor. Well, that's easy. I just take my A minor shape and move it up 1 fret. And I've got B flat minor. E flat or D sharp minor would be the next one. Pattern 1 of that would be at the 11th fret. So once again, we use the subtract 5 relationship. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that takes me to pattern 4. There's pattern 4 of D sharp minor. G sharp minor is the next one. So what I can do here is I can say, well, I know G sharp minor pattern 1 is here at the 4th fret. I could just go to that one, because it's in roughly the same part of the neck that we're playing in. Or I can say we'll go up 3 frets, 1, 2, 3 from pattern 1, and that's pattern 2. So that's how I would get the G sharp minor. C sharp minor, let's say I went for this G sharp minor, the one at the 4th fret. So I want to kind of keep it down here. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to think, well, okay, C sharp minor pattern 1 is up at the 9th fret, and once again go down 5 frets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That takes me to where pattern 4 will live. After C sharp minor, we have F sharp minor, which pattern 1 of that is going to be this at the 2nd fret. Go up 3 frets, 1, 2, 3. That's going to take me to pattern 2. And then after F sharp minor, we have B minor, which I know pattern 1 is at the 7th fret. Go down 2 frets, and as you can see on screen there, that will take us to pattern 5. After B minor, we go to E minor. We go up another 4th, that takes us to E minor. E minor pattern 1 is, well, most obviously on the open strings down here. If I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frets from pattern 1, that takes me to pattern 3. Again, on this same kind of chosen part of the neck. And after E minor, well, if we go up another 4th, we're back to where we started again, on A minor. Right where we started. So let's just run through those all individually again. So we started with A minor, D minor, G minor, C minor, F minor, B flat minor, D sharp minor, G sharp minor, C sharp minor, F sharp minor, B minor, E minor, and back to A minor. If you do that little practice routine, just going through all 12 pentatonic scales once a day as part of your practice regime, and choose a different part of the neck each day to do it, then in very, very little time, we're talking a matter of weeks, you're going to have a pretty solid understanding of the neck, and you're going to break out of that idea of being what's often called a position player, where if I'm in A minor, then I have to be at the 5th fret. If I'm in E minor, I have to be at the 12th fret. If I'm in B minor, I have to be at the 7th fret. That's the way a lot of people play. They will just kind of move pattern 1 around to accommodate whatever key they're in. And if you've got rapidly changing chord changes or tonalities where you need to go with the flow and change with the backing, then that can get a little bit frantic moving around like that. It's much easier to just be able to know where everything is. Everything that you need is just on whatever part of the neck that you're on. And as I say, this is a very, I think, effective way of doing it. As you can see, there's only, a small number of things that you need to be aware of. You need to know where pattern 1 is in any given key. Most people can do that. And then down 5 frets is pattern 4, down 2 frets is pattern 5, up 3 frets is pattern 2, and up 5 frets is pattern 3. It's not an exhaustive list of rules to learn. And once you know them, it just opens up the neck beautifully. So now we know what to do. Go away and have some fun with it. And as always, you will find a full tab for the entire solo that we kicked off the video with, and the video of me playing that solo. The tab is, of course, as usual, available in both PDF and Guitar Pro formats. You may have noticed on that solo that there was like a video jam track going on, announcing which key the backing track was in at any given moment. I'll put that up there as well, and obviously also the audio MP3 backing track and that explanation that you've just seen there. All of that is, as usual, up on my Patreon page. There's the address link in the description, as I'm sure you know by now. $3 or £3 a month gets you access to all of these additional goodies that go along with these YouTube videos. And of course, a massive thank you to everyone who supports me in that or any of the other ways, all of which are also downstairs in the description. And that is pretty much it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video and found it useful and informative in some small way. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. And don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time, where we drink beer and talk about stuff, music, guitars, whatever crops up. It's a great way to kick off the weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.